Hi, my name is Micheline Maurice. I've written a book called Personality Sculpture, the ultimate art form to create the person you want to be. I thought I would do this video because the concept is not one that is mainstream by any stretch of the imagination, and it describes how thinking changes between the third and the fifth dimension. The third dimension is something that's prevailed for millennia, apparently, on this planet. And I don't profess to be an expert on precisely what these dimensions are, but what I can do is repeat to you my understanding of the impact of these dimensional influences, if you like. Now, I believe that they are simply vibrational frequencies which are different. The third dimensional vibration frequency is apparently a denser frequency and is about limits. So I don't know how you found things, but I got very frustrated being told that's just how life is, get on with it, deal with it. I know it's not fair. And so that's all about limits, which contradicts what we're now starting to experience, which is the law of attraction and the law of abundance. Those lean towards fifth dimensional energy, which is a higher vibrational frequency, and it allows for creativity. We won't have the limits on us that we've had in the third dimension. My understanding is that the fifth dimension portal opened around 2005, and I got this information from Dolores Cannon. And then through Cryon, I understand that the window to the third dimension closed towards the end of 2016. So what we're facing is not just a change of vibrational frequency, which anyway has an impact on us, but the fact that these vibrational frequencies, if you like, have different rules for existence or engagement, if you like. In the third dimension, survivalist strategies were the winning strategies of the day. So those who were happy to smack the other one over the head harder or more frequently, or throw their values out the window whilst they were busy accumulating money as the source or the sign of success and an indicator of freedom from control. Now we're going to find in the fifth dimension that such strategies will not work. And the way we know this right now is that scandals are popping up with regular monotony, pedophilia, corruption in politics, that kind of thing, certainly in the West. And that this is something that is not going to go away. The more these people continue with the practices that have been successful in the third dimension, the more they're going to hit roadblocks, if you like, or run into brick walls within the fifth dimension, because the higher vibrational frequency won't support such unethical practices. So what we're going to find is that where survivalist strategies like war, corruption, greed, theft, that kind of thing, were fine strategies to deploy, cunning and one thing and another, in the fifth dimension, the winning strategy is going to be unconditional love. And those are going to be more expansive strategies rather than defensive and aggressive strategies. So I rather like the idea of everybody just getting on. So I'm very happy with this idea of unconditional love being the way forward. Now, where my book comes in is that throughout my life, I've been exploring a different way to think. I really didn't like being told this is just the way it is. I really believed that there was more. It was possible to have love. It was possible for people to get on. It was possible for people to be nice to each other. And I pursued a way of thinking to try to prove that point, if you like. And along the way, I had friends who stopped me and quizzed me on what I was doing and why I was doing it. And I realized I had to master the steps that I was taking. I was kind of unaware of how I'd got from A to B. So I started mastering, becoming aware of all the steps that I was taking. And I became aware then that that's what living in consciousness is all about. Now, you might say to me, look, I don't believe that I should make all that effort in life and I can bumble along and what will be will be. And I completely agree with you. You're perfectly entitled to that strategy. What I will observe is that with that strategy, one goes along, one falls into holes, one has to spend energy digging oneself out of holes, and then bumble along and fall into the next hole, and dig expend energy getting out of that hole and onto the next one. And along with that comes things like trauma, defensive behaviors, like aggression and one thing and another, or shutting down. So that is absolutely a valid choice to take, and those are the consequences of that choice. The disillusionment of life. I mean, that's certainly a third dimensional experience, just never being able to get ahead. Why is it so hard just to stand on the same point? So now, as you can see with the fifth dimension, the concepts like law of attraction, as I said, and law of abundance, things are just becoming easier for us. They're just becoming easier. But there's a deal. The deal is that one has to operate with ethics. So what my book is about is not how my questions were answered or a one-size-fits-all, but rather tools and techniques that you can deploy between you and your God. It's between you and your God, okay? No intermediaries. There is no need for eternal counseling. Once you've mastered the techniques, you'll find that your life takes on a new meaning. Life becomes logical. From where I stand, it's infinitely just. My predominant emotional state is euphoria. I no longer understand the concept of sadness. I accept it exists, but it doesn't exist within me. Peace of mind is absolutely a daily event for me. So I just thought that folks might be interested in attaining those things. And so what I would do is just start putting some videos out as I get thoughts and ideas, and try and explain the concept perhaps a little bit better than just be limited by a book. So this is the first video, just introducing myself and the purpose of the book and the videos. And going forward, I'll start explaining other concepts that I've come to understand in more detail. Until the next time, I wish you all very well.